Hey everybody, this is Heather Vance here, and I just want to go over with you on how to set up the digital ordering system if you haven't already done so. We're going to do a quick walkthrough here for you. So if you go to your portal and you would log in, and I've got the welcome page here coming up. So on the welcome page, you'll see Business Manager up at the top. That's the first place you want to go. So we'll click on that, and that's going to take you to the dashboard here. And to set up the actual DOF, you're going to go into, you'll want to start with routes, because that's going to be important to get your routes set up before you do anything else. So you'll see it'll take you to the routes page. And you can see, because Ronnie and I have been doing this for a while, we've got a lot of our routes in here, but yours should be empty when you start. So the first thing you'll do is click on Create New to set up your new route. You'll give it a name, whatever that is. I'm just going to give mine a quick name here. Type that in, click Continue. Oops, sorry. Apparently that's what I'm already using. There we go. Monroe County 1. Underneath that, you'll see I have nothing linked to that route right now. But underneath, as you scroll down, Collective Goods has all of your, potential locations in there, places you are going, places you aren't going. You can adjust these columns to see things better. You've got addresses, all your information, the counties, and they usually start out in alphabetical order. But if you click on any of these tabs at the beginning, because maybe you want to put them in order of county, you can do that by clicking on that, or go back to name and click on that to put them in order. So just so you know, you can manipulate that a little bit. To set up your route then, these little green plus signs, you would just start clicking on the accounts you want to add to this route that you're setting up. So I'm just gonna click on some random ones here, just to kind of show you it puts them up at the top there as you add them. So you would go through, I've got several pages down here. You can see at the bottom, you can click on whatever page to find your route or your account, or you can do a search and type in the name and find an account that way too. So they make it pretty easy for you to find all of your accounts and load them up into your route. Once you've got them all in there, all you have to do is click Save, and now you've created that route. So that's your first step. Now you'll want to go in and you can set up your lineup for that route. So I'll say, I've got set up Monroe County 1. Now I'm going to create the lineup I'm going to put out at that route. So I usually will put the name of the route, and then I'll put after that what cycle I'm doing, so that it's for easy reference later. So you save that. Now again, there's nothing underneath it, but down below, it'll start adding all of our inventory in. So this is everything that Ronnie and I actually have in our inventory. And it's got what season it's from, the cycle name. And again, you can adjust, these are in alphabetical order, but you can change that. You can change it to put them in order by season, by cycle, whatever you want. They make it really easy to manipulate that. And then we have the pages down here again at the bottom. And if you want to know how many titles you have in inventory, it's right down here at the very bottom, 352. And that'll be different for each of you, obviously. But to add the titles you want, you would just click over here on the left in the little box. Pretty simple. And you can go from page to page, add whatever you want. They don't actually add up to the top until you hit Add Selected. So there you go. Now I've got 6 titles for my route right now. Obviously, you'd want to put more in, but just as an example, I've got 6 in there. And for those of you that maybe aren't using max table price, you can click on that and you can customize your price. So it does have max or the recommended. So if you want to change it, you would just click on that. It'll change it automatically and click Save. For those of you who are wholesale reps, you've probably already worked with this, but it is a little bit different and you can change your price accordingly. we have a little more leeway with that. So if you want to change that, you can. But that's essentially how you set up your lineup for your route. So you would just click save when you're done. Now it's saved. So now you've got your route set up. You've got the lineup for your route. Now you want to actually set up the event.
Heather?
Yes.
Before you go on, the one thing with setting up the lineups, I know a lot of reps will sort it by quantity because usually they have the most quantity of.
Yes.
Or they'll do it by cycle. Which do you really work with, I guess, would be the question.
I will usually first go by cycle and pick out the titles that we have in the current cycle. Then when I want to figure out what I want to add as the extras, you know, because usually Ronnie and I will put anywhere from 40 to 50 titles on the DOF. We'll put them in order by quantity and decide, okay, here's what we're trying to get rid of, or here's what we have enough of to put on there where we wouldn't oversell, you know, that kind of thing. So that is a good question. And that is.
And then could you go back real quick to the routes? Because I did want to ask one thing back there, or showed one thing. You kind of showed the search bar down there.
Like down below? Or after I actually pull up a route?
Yeah, if you want to go to so like if you were going to Monroe County and want to find most of the schools, if not, if you type Monroe into that search bar, really only bring up all of the schools in Monroe County, which instead of just looking for typing in specific school names, you can do that.
Yes, you can type in it'll bring up anything with Monroe in it, whether it's the county name, the school name, anything like that. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thanks, Bob.
Yep. Okay, so we've got routes, we've got lineups. Now we're going to actually go in and set up our event. So you can see we don't have any events in here right now. As you continue to set these up, you should hopefully have a long list in here once we get back to work. But to start with, you would just click on Create New. You would, just like on the other page, we have the little plus signs to add. So we're going to add in a route here, and we'll use this Monroe County 1. You can click on the page numbers at the bottom, or you can search it up here at the top. That search bar is almost always there. So I'm going to click on Monroe County 1 and click Continue. Then I'm going to go in and click that lineup that I just created. And the lineups usually show up with the most current lineup that you have created at the top. So it should be easy to find the one that you're looking for because you probably just created it. So I'm going to choose that one. It shows you I have 6 items in there and when I created that lineup. So click on Continue. Easy enough. Route name, we've got the lineup. Now, to start your event, we're going to start it today. You know, if you want to set up an event that's for later this week for it to start, that's fine. You can choose your date, but I'm usually creating the lineup at the time that I, want to get it going. So I'm going to choose today, or maybe it was the night before, but I'm going to use today for the example. And then comes your end date. And this is going to be customized to you. Ronnie and I choose to have our end date the day before delivery. And with the way we're doing things now with the virtual lineups, we're choosing to close it at 7 p.m. at night so that we can then get everything bagged up and ready to deliver the next day. So in this case, because it's starting tomorrow, we're actually going to end it on the 13th so that they have the 11th, the 12th, and then through 7 p.m. on the 13th to order. So we would click that. And then over here on the left, or excuse me, on the right, you want to make sure that you recognize that this is Mountain Time. So if you're in a different time zone, like we are, we're on Eastern Time, then there's a 2-hour difference here. So I'm going to change that to reflect the appropriate time frame.
Heather?
Yes.
Really quick. So you would want 7 p.m. Eastern, so that would be 5 p.m. Mountain.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I do it backwards all the time, which is
thank you. Shows you I haven't done it for 5 months. Okay, so then you would click save. and you'll see it's in there, and it should be, usually takes a couple minutes before it actually shows up if I went to, the app or order.collectivegoods.com, but it should be there within a few minutes, and your customers would be able to see it and start ordering, if you had started it right now, and then it'll end, in this case, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and then Ronnie and I would get our orders ready after that, and you'll see the orders come in. Let me take you to that page. It's under Sales and Fulfillment. As your orders come in, you will see them on this page. We don't have any right now because we don't have any live events, but this is where you would find them, and it would have all the information you're seeing here, what route, the name of the location, the customer, the order number, and then everything that they ordered on there. There would be a list, and you could click on each one individually. So that's kind of the setup of how the DOF works, how you set that up for your customers, and hopefully get a lot of orders.
That's awesome, Heather. So what then would be the best way to get the link to the event into the hands of prospective customers?
Okay, so now you're talking about the e-blast system.
Yeah, I was just giving you a segue to your next video.
Thank you.
All right, Bob, do you want to hit end recording, and then we'll